are Bananaz 4 album. They were going to say it too. And I'm your co-host, Dr. Fireball. And over here we got...
Rapxilla, the motherfucking thriller. That's Rapxilla with a net.
Ooh, that's right, baby. And tonight we are going to give you a saucy review of the new album by XXXTentacion.
To be honest, I don't know how to pronounce the name of the album. It's just like a question mark or something. You know, it's like
The new album. Huh? I think it's called Huh?
I thought it was called
Or just it's called question mark.
I think that's a better name.
Yeah.
If XXXTentacion ever watches this, let us know in the comments below.
Yeah. Hi, X. All right, so a little background information on XXXTentacion.
Yeah.
So XXXTentacion is a Florida rapper. He's a very young kid. He's been in the game for a few years. Like, he kind of came from the SoundCloud scene.
Yeah, he has songs with other fellow SoundCloud rappers, such as Kodak Black.
Well, he's gotten himself some haters, but you know.
Yeah, due to his checkered past, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to get into that.
I think you can separate yourself from the artist and still feel what they're feeling. You know, it's like an evil person is not without feeling. It's just that he chooses through his own feelings to do evil, he or she. There's evidence, obviously, towards him being guilty of his accusations, but in the end, we never know. That's not our business, you know. But what I'm saying is,
we're here to review.
What I'm saying is, regardless of all of that, like, it doesn't matter because the art should be judged on its own merit.
All right, so let's get into it. Song by song. That's what Bananaz do. We're going to start off with the first track, which is called Introduction/Instructions.
Yeah, what would you think about this?
Very conceited and just like a stupid intro where basically XXXTentacion is just like, you're not going to understand this album unless you have like an open mind and I'm so deep and this music is so deep and all stuff. And I think, right? I kind of...
Yeah, I think it's sort of like emotionally blackmailing because he's like, oh, if you're not cool enough to be open-minded, then you're not going to like this album. It assumes that only open-minded people will like this album. You know what I'm saying? To that extent, I thought it accuses the listener of like being close-minded.
I just think it's lame to have like an intro like being like, oh, so this is what this is gonna be.
It's corny.
Just, like,
it's corny.
Getting into it.
It's corny. It's pretentious. It's corny. Fucking reeks of like corny snobbery. You know, like it's just
very snobby.
Yeah, it's basically like the 17 album intro where it's just like, yo, like you gotta get this.
Oh, he does it the same. He does an intro.
Yeah. He does it in the first one.
What is with this dude?
So the next song is Alone Part 3, which I actually really like this song. Like, had he he should have just not even had that intro. He should just play this song. I really like the acoustic guitar on this, even though it was like simplistic, and I liked how like twangy it got and like more like a little bit like. It had a little bit of an overdrive, you know. And he actually had some pretty decent singing. It had like a nice build up. And it was all like with this like a sad sort of like, you know. It's very melancholy vibe.
I like this song. I thought it was pretty sad. It's almost melodramatic. The vocals sound nice, and I thought this one had a kind of a Post Malone type sound, you know. I think this song is more like an intro, even though that first song was the intro I prefer this as like the intro because it's only like a minute and a half, and it's cool though.
Yeah, like that's a common thing that we kind of like picked up on in this album. It's like a lot of his singing parts sort of sound reminiscent of Post Malone, but it's also like a piece of a larger problem. He really tries to like wear a lot of his influences on his sleeves, you know. It feels like he's imitating things way too much, you know.
Yeah, this whole album is basically one big like mix CD of different styles and different genres.
Which I don't hate, you know, like the Gorillaz do that kind of thing, you know, like even going back as like the Beatles, you know, where like they would incorporate like foreign sounds, like a sitar.
And sure, they kind of experimented, but it's like I don't know. It feels like XXXTentacion is just kind of like just doing a bunch of random shit, and he's like not really defining himself as an artist.
I'm not hating on the random shit. I'm hating on the fact that he's too imitative. He runs into the same cliches. It's like, okay, how many songs in that genre have you heard that sounded so much like that already, you know? Yeah, but I like the song overall.
It was cool. The only downside for me is like it's almost depressing.
Yeah, it's a very sad song, but I like it.
Okay, so the next song is a track called Moonlight.
Yeah, which I think the title is a reference to that film, Moonlight, which was about like a gay black man or something like that won like a Academy Award. He's kind of like saying like that he's trying to reach that sort of like status, like he's trying to make Academy Award winning music. I really like the sick beats and it, like I like the keys on this, how it's like kind of like a wah pedal on it, you know, like a
they're
you know, it's like
I believe the setting is called Weird Ass.
I still like the trappy drums under it.
It's beautiful. Well, overall, I like the beat a lot. Kind of sing rappy. Something about like a Scantron thrown in there. I forget. There's some good lyrics. The only thing is though, like he's like kind of mumbling in some parts. He's kind of crooning where he's just like. But I really like that. Moonlight, moonlight, moonlight. I think that's really cool. I personally think this song is a contender for the Banana MVP for the album.
Definitely. Speaking of favorite songs, the next song is one of my favorites, and it's Sad, which
It's
I love
one
it.
of your favorites.
Yeah, it's like I like that it's a sad song. And it's called Sad. You know, it's very simple. You know, but like his vocals are really great, and I like that call response that he does. I like how he makes like a breakup song, like very creepy. Like, but he also makes it like where you can feel for the creepy ass you know? Like,
Yeah, this song has some up lyrics. I'm gonna kill myself if you leave me, kind of. But it's I kind of agree with you. It's like you can kind of understand, but it's fucked up. And I don't know.
The next song is Remedy for a Broken Heart. Why am I so in love? In parentheses.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Why are you?
What is life?
The meaning of life is love. Anyway,
I hope.
This song features a lot of singing. I honestly thought his vocals sound good. A lot of the vocal performances on this album were pretty dope.
Yeah,
singing wise,
he was really good in this song singing wise. This song actually reminds me of a Tupac song called Thug's Mansion, and like actually it's not the original song, but Thug's Mansion has like an acoustic version with I forget who the guitarist is who plays it and does the chorus, but this song almost is reminiscent of that, which I never like made that connection that Tupac actually has like an acoustic like rap song. So it's kind of funny because like I know XXX like has considered himself like better than Tupac, but this almost sounds like he was making
Influence.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
This one, yeah, has some great rapping too from X, and gosh, it's a nice ballad. Also, I like a lot of the lyrics, like for the chorus part where he's like a little bit of this, a little bit of weed, a little bit of cash, because it's kind of saying like it'll be all right, it'll be all good. It's like I got all this money and stuff, but I'm still feeling this hint of sadness.
And it's kind of like emo thug.
Yeah, I like I like it, and it's kind of like folk emo thug.
Yeah. The next song is a song that I actually really liked, and it's called Floor 555. And I actually liked how like very lo-fi it kind of sounded, but it was like not bad quality, distorted noises, you know. And I like the energy in the vocals, and I like that he's like, I'm a monster, you know, and he's just like very like raw and like kind of like punky. I like the 808s like contrasting with like the atmospheric keys, you know.
They're very reminiscent of an old school video game. Well, not really old school, but like, well, yeah, I guess like 90s, like some like Zelda shit. And I love the metal chorus you were talking about, where it's just like, it's so cool. It's I guess this is kind of like his old SoundCloud style.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like songs like, what is it? I love it when they run, stuff like that, you know.
I love the metal chorus and all that stuff, and I like the like video game sounding beat and the just everything. Like, if you could recommend me some stuff in the comments, that'd be dope, because I like the sound. And I really like how this song goes into the next song, which is called Numb. I think it's a very nice contrast of the last one, because it's very melodic, and it has kind of a repetitive melody, but it doesn't go on too long. It's like it stops right when you're like, all right, I'm getting sick of this shit, because it has all these layers and it keeps building and has all these guitar parts and like guitar harmonies, and like it's really like building, and it's a catchy melody. It kind of has like a Nirvana feel, kind of like a My Chemical Romance emo.
To me, it kind of had like a Post Malone vibe to it, like how we were talking about earlier about like some of his singing. It had like very like that vibrato in it, and like I think his clean vocals were kind of decent in this one, but they weren't that great. But like I really liked his like screaming, more like heavy, like heavy metal kind of like screaming.
I don't think he screamed.
Yeah, he does in this one, like a little bit. It's not like super screaming, but he kind of does. This song just builds up and then just repeats itself.
It's like the first time you hear it, it's cool, but then like you get it the first time, and it's like you don't need to hear it again.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's a lot of these songs, to be honest, because they're so short. I feel.
Yeah, they were just like an experiment.
Yeah, a lot of cliche. Anyways, the next song after that was Infinity 888, which, like you said, this is kind of a Joey Badass song and an XXXTentacion album.
Yeah, it's like the beat is very East Coast.
Oh no. Yeah, Peacocks. It has it's like one of the only songs in this album that has a Peacocks by the Peacocks. Oh no. It's by Stu Peacocks and Bill Peacocks. I think Joey Badass goes hard on this, and XXS goes hard on his rap verse. Like he shows that he's a sick ass rapper, you know. The intro was kind of like, It's kind of like a Big L reference.
Catching some diseases.
Yeah.
It does smell of Big L.
Yeah.
X verse goes pretty hard. He has some pretty cool cadences and like pretty quick flows. He kind of does the triplet flow, a la Migos. But like you said, it sounds like it could have been on a Joey Badass album. featuring XXXTentacion or something. I don't know.
Anyways, the next song after that is Going Down, which I really like the sick beat.
I'm pretty sure the dude who did the beat is the guy who did that Lil Uzi Vert song, EXO Tour Life.
Yeah, he's a good DJ or producer or whatever. I like the melodic vocals. Going down. Like you said before, he has an ear for a melody, And I like the party vibe, It's actually like it's like a 180 to a lot of the themes in this song, A lot of, I feel like maybe the CEOs of the company were like, "Yo, you gotta put some upper, The next song is Pain Equals Best Friend, which is still a sad song.
I think this song is actually Pain Equals Boyfriend, right?
No, it's Best Friend.
Oh.
Did you?
So tell me about this song. Who's in it? Any guest drummers by any chance? Possibly of any 90s popular pop punk band?
Yeah, this song is featuring Travis Barker.
Travis Barker on a XXXTentacion album? That sounds...
Yeah, it's kind of random actually. But it's funny because I showed this to a friend of mine. Shout out to Mario. And he's like, I didn't even tell him that Travis Barker was on the song. And he's like, this sounds like a Blink-182 song. Which XXXTentacion wears his inspirations on the sleeve, And like, you really see it here. Like, he had decent vocals, but like his screaming was a lot better.
Yeah.
Like,
I like it.
you know what I'm saying? Like you were saying about like having like a metal vibe.
I think it'd be cool if he experimented more with that sound.
I feel like this song, like I liked how Travis Barker did his drums and he like really built it up to something, which XXXTentacion just stops out of nowhere, which is like I think it's like it's a bad thing about this album. It's like a lot of the songs don't know how to end, so so then they just end like out of nowhere, like, oh, we're building up and that's it, or it's just repeating and then cuts out, and it's like it sounds too much like mixtapes, that I've heard other artists do. It's like no wonder why they call them mixtapes,
Yeah,
But
a lot of this album feels...
I don't know why he called it an album. But what were you saying?
Oh, a lot of this album feels like almost like a demo that is like unfinished or something.
He's just like waiting for some like part of a genre to like latch onto him so that he can know what he wants his sound to be. I feel like.
I think that's why it's called the question mark, because he's just like, I don't even know what this is, but here you go. Here's this album. Listen to all these different sounds. It's like we don't even know the name of this album. Like, we know it's a question mark, but we don't know how to pronounce it properly,
The next song after that is also, you don't know how to pronounce it. It's $$$$$. Money, money, money. I don't know. And then, yeah, so I really don't know how to pronounce it, but I actually like this song because, again, it's a little bit lighter. It's a bit happier. It's a more danceable song. It's a bit longer. I like the singer. Like, I like to get money, yeah, get money.
Yeah, he kind of sounded like Sway Lee.
Yeah, kind of. And then I like XXX verses. Like, he's like a little bit lighthearted and funnier on the song.
Yeah, it's okay.
The next song after this is Love Yourself Interlude, which my only note was forgettable.
Yeah, let me see my notes.
It kills it. kills. The next song is Smash, which it sounds kind of like some generic ass trap, you know. It's like he's been out of the game for too long that he just kind of like is trying to imitate trap now too. But I liked the funny lyrics, and
Yeah.
that was about it. It was kind of boring actually.
It could have been funnier. It could have been like
Like wackier.
like it could have been like catchier, and they could have had better, like funnier lyrics and like more clever lyrics.
Anyways, the next song after that is I Don't Even Speak Spanish, which, speaking of generic, it's so generic. It just sound like he heard all the cliches on the radio and like was like, oh yeah, let's make a song like that.
It's really, yeah, kind of. I guess it's. So
I don't know. I don't know if this was like, again. I don't know if this was obligatory. Like maybe they're like, oh, can you make like a Latin style, like song? Like,
no, why? Like that's. The record labels don't do shit like that.
Sometimes they do.
Well, then they fucked up. Then that
I don't know.
whoever was in charge of that decision should be fired, because this song is terrible. Worst song on this album, and it's really cheesy.
I hate it, but it might have just been XXX. He might have just like genuinely liked the music. He did bad. So the next song after this was actually another single. It's called Changes. Which I like the vocals. They're very sad, and I like the simple piano and the use of the autotune. Autotune was really good on this.
Really, I did not like the autotune. I thought they ruined it for me.
Really?
Yeah, it ruined like the human aspect of the song.
I thought it was a decent use of the autotune, because it wasn't like it was kind of aware of the autotune. You know, it was kind of like I don't know. I like the themes too, like dealing with changes and how it's hard and it's a struggle. You know, I mean, it was very universal themes.
It had a nice melody and a nice hook.
Yeah, definitely.
It's kind of like an interlude.
Yeah, a lot of these songs would be interludes in like an average album. You know,
Definitely, very short songs.
Yeah. So the next song after that was Hope, which I thought was an alright song. Like it had an intro about the Florida shooting, which like I'm like
The Parkland.
yeah. And I'm not sure like what it had to do with the Parkland shooting, other than like dealing with the loss of a friend or something like that. Dealing with death. I don't know. I think that's what the lyrics are about. I could be wrong.
Well, the song's called Hope.
Yeah.
I don't know. This song was not bad. I actually really like the beat, and it's like very beautiful. It's an okay song though. I thought it was like decent. It was very short. Go figure.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of like very like too short, you know.
Yeah, too short.
Yeah. It was not long enough. So the next song is Schizophrenia. I like the screaming again on this thing.
Yeah, it sounded. This one's kind of reminded me of like Korn or Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah, it has like a very industrial sound.
Ooh, definitely. Kind of like whispering, and then he's kind of screaming. I like that.
And he has like that very evil delivery, almost like Ron Stein, you know? Rammstein.
There's some cool kind of motivational lyrics where it's like, don't give up, but he's like screaming. It's like, don't give up. I thought that was interesting.
I mean, I liked the screaming and I liked the delivery, but I thought like it kind of was bordering on cheesy, you know, like almost, you know,
with the don't give up
yeah,
part.
Yeah, it was like it was inspirational, but it was like.
But I thought that was a cool song. In general, would you say?
Yeah, it was a cool song.
Yeah.
I liked it. Like I just thought it was like bordering cheesy. It wasn't like. It wasn't all the way cheese, you know.
Right.
So the next song after that is Before I Close My Eyes, which I liked the folk sound that it had, like a folky kind of. and I like the piano. And like the violins, they're kind of sweeping. Decent vocals. The lyrics were basic though. They were just like he didn't write them. They're like a prayer you hear in movies and all that. And like, you know, everyone.
Before I lay me down to sleep. It's like a nice sounding song, but
And again,
disappointing.
it was too short. So many of the songs are so short, you don't even know where it ends. You know,
There's
like
nothing. There's like not much to say.
yeah, it just like you're just hearing like pieces and pieces. It's almost like, oh wait, am I back at the beginning or am I hearing another song because it's so short?
Let's talk banana scale. What would you rate this?
I would rate this 3.1 bananas.
No, you can't do that.
Okay, I'll rate this 3 bananas.
It's kind of a rushed album.
Seems like
Cause he just released an album at the end of last year. Now he's got another one.
Was it? Yeah.
And he had that
EP,
Christmas one too.
yeah.
So damn.
He's churning them out, but I don't think he should, you know. I don't think it's his forte to do it like that.
Take your time, young grasshopper.
He has potential. So, what would you rate this?
You know, as someone who's always been into rock music and like alternative stuff, a lot of the sounds that X used on this album reflected my childhood. Like it had like a nostalgic tinge, like the one with Travis Barker, obviously, because it's like Blink-182, but also the one that sounded like the Zelda video game. It's just a lot of these songs, like just like they kind of had a nostalgic tinge. Also, the one Numb, I know it's kind of repetitive, but I really like the guitar work on there. So like this album to me was like kind of refreshing, but yeah, it's kind of sketchy and like a lot of songs are too short. The ideas aren't fleshed out enough. So calculating all these different thingamabobbers, I would give this album a 3 as well. Is that what you gave it? Yeah, I'd give it a 3.
You know,
I think Sad gets the MVP, the banana MVP for song of the album.
MVP. He has a lot of potential, that's for sure. And that's what I liked about the album. It shows that he has potential, but it was bogged down by a lot of the like cliches of the genres he was trying to like showcase.
Yeah, I don't know. This guy is like crazy, man. He does some crazy shit in the media. So
Yeah, I definitely did.
all right, well I guess that's it.
Anyways, yeah, we're bananas for album.
Are you bananas for albums?
Thanks for hearing us chit chat with you guys for the night.
Yeah, thanks for partying with us. Remember to hit that like button, hit that sub button, and let us know in the comments, you know, what you want to hear reviewed next, because we are here for you. We're all ears, baby. And that's it, man. I'm Dr. Fireball.
I'm Rapxilla.
We're Bananas for Albums.
Have a good night.